Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Saul and I got into the real estate industry when I was just 18 years old. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about whether you should or should not get your real estate license in 2021. I'm going to go over some statistics about realtors and real estate agents that you might not be aware of. And for those of you that actually stick around to the end of the video and actually decide to pursue your goal of getting into the real estate industry, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks that'll hopefully help you become successful in your future career. As always, I'm going to put my Instagram somewhere up on the screen as well as in the description. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram, and I normally respond within 24 to 48 hours, and I will answer whatever questions you have. And I'll even offer to jump on a consult call with you. So the main reason I'm making this video today is because as of late, I've had an influx of messages from teenagers in the age range of 15 to 17 years old that have either stumbled across one of my social media pages or even found me through YouTube. And they DM me on Instagram wanting to get into the real estate industry, which, don't get me wrong, I think that is a fantastic thing to do. But with a lot of them, I think their line of thinking and reasoning for wanting to join the industry is a little bit flawed, and I'm going to tell you why. Money cannot be your only motivation for getting into the real estate industry, and I see it time and time again. Almost 75% of every DM I have received from teenagers and actually, frankly, 20-year-olds has been, I want to get into a career field that I can make a lot of money quickly. And the problem with that line of thinking is it will get you shut down over and over again. Now, why do I say that? Well, people do not like to be sold, right? Not only do people not like being sold, but the second they pick up on the fact that you're trying to sell them on something, they will shut you down and they will never work with you again. All of your trust and credibility is gone. You have to go in there and actually add value to that transaction, right? So you have to go in there from a place of abundance and not from scarcity, which I see happening time and time again with younger agents. And frankly, that is the reason why almost 90%, yes, really, almost 90% of all of those that get their real estate license drop out within the first 8 months. Now, that shitty sales tactic of always trying to pressure people and take advantage of them is not the only reason why there is such a high dropout rate in the real estate industry. There's also another huge reason. A lot of people only get their real estate license because they see other people doing it on social media, or they possibly meet someone that's a real estate agent. They see that they're driving a nice car. They see that they're always showing these nice houses. And a lot of us, frankly, in the industry put on this, show to make it look like what we do is extremely easy and how it's, so calming and there's never any issues. But in reality, social media is just a highlight reel. We're doing that because no one's going to go on there and talk about all the stress that they're experiencing, the anxiety that they're going through. They're not going to go on there and talk about how they got texts at 5 a.m. in the morning and how it's driving them crazy because they need to figure out how they're going to close this transaction or help get their client out of that transaction because something came up during the deal. If you're part of that group of people that is getting their license because they think that they're going to come in and they're going to open some doors, hold some open houses, and make $100,000 their first year, you're going to be in for a really, really rude awakening. And I am willing to bet that you're going to be part of that 90% that drops out in that first year. Frankly, that first 8 months. What we as real estate agents don't talk about is the amount of knowledge you need to have about the entire transaction as a whole. I'm not talking about just understanding how the contract works. I'm talking about understanding how the contract works, all the laws, rules, regulations, coding, zoning ordinances when it comes to a property. And on top of that, you need to know lenders, and not only traditional lenders, you need to know private money lenders, you need to know hard money lenders, you need to know appraisers, you need to know the guys that do lots and bounds for the city. You need to know these guys that are going to be able to pull permits for when you want to switch your hot water heater in Scottsdale in one of your flips. You need to know the guys that are going to help you close a transaction with your title company when shit hits the fan. You're going to need to know guys that can run your advertising campaigns. You're going to need to know guys that are going to do photography for you. And you're going to need to know how to run proper advertisements and commercials through social media and Google. And in all reality, you're going to need to know a hell of a lot more than that, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the list there because otherwise we're going to be sitting here for a couple hours going over everything you need to know about the real estate industry that your real estate school didn't teach you. Now, I know that might sound like a kind of, a stupid thing to say, but in reality, your real estate school and your real estate education that you got from sitting through those classes is shit. I'm sorry for cursing, but it doesn't mean anything. And when you come in and you think that you know everything about real estate because you sat in a class for 90 or 180 hours or however many hours it is now, you are going to be in for a rude awakening. In fact, one of the things I like to do with new agents when they just graduate from school and they join a brokerage is, if I'm out to coffee with them, The first thing I'll ask them is, what makes you different? Why would someone use you to complete a real estate transaction over me? Why would they use you over someone else? Why would they use you over someone that even has a couple more months of experience? What makes you special? What makes you trustworthy? Why would anyone want to work with you? And that always elicits the same reaction, at least, 50, 60% of the time. They'll sit there and they'll kind of look around. They'll look down at their hands, they'll look down at their feet, and they'll be like, shit, I don't have anything that makes me unique. I can make up a bunch of bullshit. I can talk about my family. I can talk about the struggles I've had. But in reality, that's not going to make someone that's not going to make someone want to do business with you. And I'm sorry for stuttering, but I've been drinking way too much caffeine off camera. And at this point, I'm pretty much tweaking. Now that is going to help me segue into my next part of the video, because I want to give you guys some actual tips if you want to really go forward with this, right? And I know I've been a little bit pessimistic throughout this video, but I want to be real with you guys. I want to be raw, and I don't want to, create this false aura around real estate and make it seem like it's this romantic thing that's a ton of fun. Because it is fun, but it's a shit ton of work. So here are some things that I would recommend for all of you guys to do before you actually get your license. So as I touched on earlier, one of the things you're going to want to knock out in the beginning is you want to sit down with yourself for a couple of hours or maybe even a couple of minutes by yourself and really think about what you're doing. Why me? Why would someone want to work a transaction with me? Why would someone want to go in business with me or possibly form a partnership, right? And once you can find the answer to that question, then I would recommend actually pursuing your license, because if you can't figure that out, then I would recommend stopping there. Second, if you want to get into the real estate industry and you don't have a healthy amount of savings in your bank account, you might want to take a two-step, because in reality, the majority of agents don't complete their first transaction until 10 months into the industry, and that's if they close a transaction at all within their first year. So I tell this to everyone I sit down with: you're going to want to go out and do whatever you have to do to save up that money, legally of course, and either get a minimum wage job or keep working whatever job you have at the moment, and save up enough living expenses to cover those 10 months and maybe a little bit more, so that you can have a couple $1,000s each month for other things such as advertising, lead gen, holding open houses, taking people out to dinner, and all of these little things that a lot of people don't think about when they're first getting into the industry. Now, speaking of costs, here are a couple things that a lot of people don't know. So once you get your license and you get involved in this industry, I would say a lot of people fall flat on their face because they didn't have the brains to save up enough money to be able to cover lead gen, because you need to bring in business somehow. They didn't cover enough money to run advertisements through Google. They didn't have enough money to run Facebook ads, to even buy the signs for their open houses. They didn't have enough money to even pay for the signs that they're going to put in front of their own damn listings. You need to have a couple of $100s to be able to pay your photographer for headshots. You need to have money to cover gas, because last time I checked, it's not getting any cheaper. It's like $3 a gallon at Costco right now, so I imagine it's much higher everywhere else, at your Circle K's, at your Sinclair gas stations. This must be crazy for you guys. And a lot of people don't think about this, but you're going to want to have some money saved up to take people out to lunch or dinner. You're going to want to have some money saved up so you can actually network with people, and you can do that in whatever way you choose. So play your social network, right? Use the people that you have known since you were a kid. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not saying take advantage of people. I'm saying use your own groups and go farther into them. Grow your level of trust, right? So if you are really intertwined with the cigar lounge, go and hang out there more, right? Tell people about what you're doing. Offer value to their life. If you're part of the car, scene, if you go to car shows a lot, which I do, meet up with the car guys, right? Go, I'm not saying street race, but go to these car meets, hang out, do some burnouts, run some donuts, and just network in whatever way you can. Because I know this is a cliche, but your network is your net worth. Just one more piece of advice before we, wrap up this video. I wanted to actually point out this bookshelf in the background, because this is something that a lot of people, even if you're not going to become a real estate agent, you could find a lot of value in this. Go out and create your own book club. Meet with a couple like-minded individuals or even your friends and start, reading a certain number of books every year or even every month. Here are some recommendations. I know I've made a complete video on this, and if you've watched all of my videos, you'll have known these books already. But here's what I would check out if you want to talk about real estate. We have Buy, Rehab, Rent, Refinance, Repeat from the guys at Bigger Pockets. We have Rich Dad Poor Dad, fantastic real estate book. It's what got me started. We also have this book, Not Taught. It's not technically real estate related, but it was given to me by my title company, so I'm going to count it in. I also have Rich Kid, Smart Kid. And we have The Millionaire Next Door. That is a fantastic book as well to include in your book club. To really tie off the knot for this video, after giving you guys those book recommendations, I just want to go over a couple of more things, and I'm going to lay them all out in kind of a summary. First, do not get into real estate if money is your only motivation, because people will not trust you and they will write you off. Second, if you're only getting into real estate because of what you've seen on social media, you might want to take a double take and take a couple steps back and really assess what you're doing. Third, real estate is not as easy as it appears on social media. And here are a couple pieces of advice just to summarize the ones that I gave you. Start a book club, work on your social network, save up money so you can actually afford to be an agent, because what happens if you don't make the money that you were looking to make? And fourth, know what you're talking about. Add value to people and be a source of knowledge. Be that tree that is always looking to help other people and lift them up rather than hold them down, because people only want to work with someone they trust, right? As always, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. I love you. You make my day. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me on my Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and put it up somewhere on this screen, Saul_Rahimian. DM me any questions you have and I'll answer within 24 to 48 hours. And I'll even offer to jump on a consult call with you. God bless.